thoughts, words, ink, and a tolling bell. For words are things, and a small drop of ink imprinted upon a thought makes thousands, perhaps millions, think. The time was 1940, and I, a freshman member of the International Relations Club of Butler County High School, was standing on a stage narrating a pageant we had produced for a student assembly. I have forgotten all the other details of the pageant except the above quotation, and that it was directed by my social studies teacher, Rawdon Bradley. As I remember, the purpose of the International Relations Club was to prevent war by promoting understanding among nations. In another 18 months or so, the United States would be involved in a massive global conflict, and for years I carried a vague sense of disloyalty because I had been involved in a pacifist organization. In accordance with our purpose, the club bought 3 books to broaden our international horizons, one of which was a story about the Spanish Civil War, For Whom the Bell Tolls, by an up-and-coming young war correspondent named Ernest Hemingway. Miss Lee, the librarian, refused to put it on the shelf in the library because of some fairly explicit sex episodes which, though mild by today's standards, were too racy to be included in a high school library then. All the club members read the book. I'm afraid we were more interested in the activities in the sleeping bag than we were the Spanish Civil War, as Miss Lee had suspected. Sometimes I use this story to sell the book to a reluctant reader who has to read a classic novel. I still believe in the power of the printed word, but lately I've begun to wonder what kind of thoughts are being imprinted in our minds these days. It seems to me that readers, adult as well as student, are interested only in horror, occult, or graphic sex written to formula. Old established publishing houses have been gobbled up by huge corporation conglomerates interested only in publishing what can make the fastest dollar. I worry about the literacy diet that our people are consuming. Literacy is not necessarily good if the only reading matter that one consumes is the equivalent of junk food, or worse, poison for the mind. As a librarian, I am obligated to purchase books for every taste, with an unlimited budget. Though I believe anyone has the right to read anything he deems interesting, I cannot bring myself to spend the taxpayers' money on books that I know are degrading and mind-poisoning. My selection policy states that I will try to buy wholesome materials, but that I will not go to ridiculous lengths to keep from offending someone. Even Huckleberry Finn, whose only good character is the Negro Jim, has been attacked in some areas as racist. I'm concerned about the student who comes and looks around at 6,000 books and says, "Mrs. Rice, you don't have any good books." After a little questioning, I find out that he is only interested in axe murders or werewolf tales or kinky sex. I worry, privately, that the next step for him is pornography, and I try to find a book somewhat akin to his taste. Now I know what Miss Lee was going through. I'm sure she'd laugh if she remembered refusing Hemingway's classic. I don't like censorship, but neither do I like the turn our mass media literature has taken. Think of the billions of drops of ink that are imprinted upon thoughts that, instead of improving the quality of our lives, inspire murder, mayhem, promiscuity, and violence. Hemingway's titled quote John Donne, "Sinned not to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee." It has also tolled for a lost innocence, honor, and integrity in the printed page.